Your Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and Chair of BRICS, Heads of State and Government from Africa and the Global South, Excellency Ministers, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. From the outset, allow me to express my utmost appreciation to you, Mr. Chairman, and the BRICS leaders for extending an invitation to His Excellency Honorable William Ruto of the Republic of Kenya, who could not be here today, but conveys his best wishes for a successful summit. When the great King Shaka Zulu was expanding his empire from Natal to Bulawayo here in southern Africa, my ancestors in Kenya were walking long distances to the Indian Ocean coast to bring goods to other traders from the Middle East, Asia, and beyond. The currency of choice then, whether here or the East African coast, was based on what one needed. You exchanged animal hides and got salt, gold, and received silk, ivory in return for spices, among other goods. Today, listening to the discussions here at the BRICS Summit and remembering the way we traded in the currency system, which is pegged against most of us, I tell myself that the issues are no longer about if, but when we will adopt a fairer, predictable, and reasonable way of transacting with each other. My ancestors would be shocked, for example, if they woke up today and found that Kenyans cannot use the Kenya shilling to buy goods in the neighboring beautiful country of Her Excellency Samia Suluhu of the United Republic of Tanzania without using an external currency, resulting in high foreign exchange interest and monies lost. Quite ridiculous, to say the least. Last night, during the colorful cultural performances and dinner hosted by Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of South Africa, he said that our diversity is our greatest strength. This meeting is showing us that our unity, especially the unity of purpose, is the only way forward if we are going to have to change that and be able to benefit from it all. President Lula da Silva, with a Pan-African tone this morning, enumerated the challenges we face in this African continent despite the available opportunities. This has also been echoed very well by the African Union Chair, President Azali Ousmani of the Union of Comoros. They have also stated very well, and many have repeated the same, that what we need is action. Truth be told, for example, many African nations are suffocating in debt that is becoming more difficult to repay. This modern-day slavery of our livelihoods cannot be solved with nice words, but concrete implementation of ideas. The global economy continues to feel the heat from soaring inflation, high cost of debt, and the rising risk of debt distress, slow growth of credit, persistent, disproportionate, and multidimensional impacts of COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the disruptions in the supply chain and the effects of climate change. We propose a systematic resolution of the developing country debt overhang rather than case-by-case debt defaults workouts under the G20 common framework. This debt overhang is a big threat to developing countries' ability to finance development. Now, for avoidance of doubt, we are not saying that we want our debts to be forgiven and forgotten or that we do not wish to meet our obligations. What we are saying is that with the effects of COVID, climate change, international geopolitics, it is impossible for many nations to pay their debts and have anything left for development. That is just the truth. Our proposal is for the debt repayments to be renegotiated and suspended for a period of time, say 10, 15, or 20 years, so that the monies that are available are used for development. We do not want to keep on borrowing because all the monies we have are tied to debt repayments. We have to break the cycle. After the deferred payment period, nations will have developed their economies to such an extent that paying the debts will be easy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we deeply regret that increased financing gap in developing countries is as a result of an unstable international financial system. Indeed, the unpredictable and insufficient development financing continues to push these economies to the brink. As President Hakainde Hichilema of Zambia put it this morning, the cost of capital has to be addressed. Kenya, like many other developing countries, has consistently expressed concern with the existing world development order, characterized by an asymmetrical international financial system that is discriminative to the developing world. There is no vivid example of inequality and discrimination in the world order as of exclusion in the permanent seat of the UN Security Council. Kenya stands with the sentiment expressed by many, including His Excellency the President of Eritrea, Lesotho, Ghana, Malawi, Namibia, Senegal, and others. At the very least, this situation, this status in the UN has to change. There is an urgent need to broaden as well as strengthen the voice and participation of developing countries in the decision-making and global economic governance as well. We do not want to be participants, but also want to be shareholders. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, economic development cannot occur without a stable government. We must all stand together in condemning undemocratic regimes which usurp the will of the people by overthrowing democratically elected governments, as happened in Niger. We cannot go to an era of coups. Peace, security, and the resultant stability are critical for desired development. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, allow me to inform you that His Excellency President William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, in his capacity as the chairperson of the Committee of African Heads of State and Government, extends a warm invitation to the African Climate Summit, which is scheduled to take place from 4th-6th September 2023 in Nairobi, and collectively champion and chart a sustainable path in the fight against climate change. The Nairobi Summit will not be business as usual, but will be the beginning of a revolution that will change with climate change is managed and funded. We welcome you all. See you in Nairobi. Thank you.